Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And welcome to the channel that takes power gaming to the next level. Today on the Doctor's Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the spell Magnificent Mansion, also known as Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion. This spell appears twice in the list. Again, once as Magnificent Mansion and once as Mordenkainen's Mansion. We're giving this spell a C+. It's there. It has its uses. It's not great for combat. As you know, we like to review spells for their utility in combat situations. This is one that you're probably not going to be using in those situations. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I've got another video out. All right. So this is another one of our spells in the 7th level series. We're on the M's. It has a casting time of 1 minute and is usable by bards and wizards. No warlocks, no sorcerers. Again, I'm not really sure how they came up with the idea of why these particular two classes can use this. I understand wizards, that was kind of the magic user could use this spell back in the day. This was not one of the original spells in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. I think it appeared sometime towards the end of 1st edition, beginning of 2nd edition. So 1 minute casting time, has a range of 300 feet, verbal, somatic, and material component, which is, it is an item worth something. It's only worth 5 gold pieces, so it's, by the time you're able to cast this spell when you're 13th level or higher, it's pretty insignificant. It lasts for 24 hours. So you conjure an extra dimensional dwelling in the range that lasts for the duration, which is 24 hours. You choose where its one entrance is located. So it's extra dimensional. So keep that in mind. You're going into a different, like, pocket dimension. The entrance shimmers faintly and is 5 feet wide and 10 feet tall. That is while it's open. While it's open. You and any creature you designate when you cast the spell can enter the extra-dimensional dwelling as long as the portal remains open. You can open or close the portal if you are within 30 feet of it. While closed, the portal is invisible. Now, True Sight can probably see the portal, but that doesn't mean that someone who can see it, that isn't allowed to go in there, can get in there, because you and any creature you designate when you cast the spell can enter the extra-dimensional dwelling. So if they're not there when you cast it and you didn't designate them, they cannot get in it. So there is that. So beyond the portal is a magnificent foyer and with numerous chambers beyond, and then it's clean, fresh, and warm, blah, blah, blah. So you can create the floor plan that you want, but the space cannot exceed 50 cubes, each cube being 10 foot on each side, which is basically your standard room. 10 foot by 10, 10 foot room or 10 foot cube is your standard room. So basically you get 50 10 foot rooms. Some of those could be more, some of those could be less. The place is furnished and decorated as you choose. It contains sufficient food to serve a 9-course banquet for up to 100 people. That's a lot. That's a lot of food. That means each person gets 9 courses. So your typical dinner is not 9 courses, which means you could probably feed a whole lot more than 100 people. Your typical meal is like 3 courses, a vegetable, a meat, and some kind of starch. And if you want to count a drink, then that's 4 courses. So you could probably stretch that 9-course out at least to 200 people. There is a staff of 100 near transparent servants. All who enter, you decide. A staff of 100 near transparent servants attends all who enter. Okay, you decide the visual appearance of these servants and their attire. They're transparent, so meaning they're not invisible. They can be seen. They are completely obedient to your orders. Each servant can perform any task a normal human servant could perform, but they cannot attack or take any action that would directly harm another creature. Thus, the servants can fetch things, clean, blah, blah, blah. So the servants can go anywhere in the mansion but can't leave. Furnishings and other objects created by this spell dissipate into smoke if they're removed. When the spell ends, any creatures or objects inside the extra-dimensional space are expelled into the open spaces nearest to the entrance. So one, as a player, if you are going to cast this spell, you probably should get like a piece of graph paper out, or or your favorite program, whatever that may be, and something like I use Incarnate to make a lot of maps, so you could use that and draw the floor plan for what you want. It can have multiple floors as long as it doesn't exceed 50 cubes of 10 foot by 10 foot each. You can have a big basement that is 20 foot by 20 foot, something like that. You could have multiple rooms. You could have an upstairs with multiple rooms. You could have a first floor with a foyer and a kitchen and a dining room, and then living quarters upstairs and like a basement. This spell was used a lot in Critical Role season or campaign 1, and it was kind of their hidey hole or their place to rest whenever they needed to. Now, I have seen the spell used as kind of a getaway, kind of an alternative to rope trick, or a higher level type of rope trick, where if you've got a minute and you're being chased, if you've got the time, it gets cast and then you go in and nothing can come in. Now, be warned that things with See Invisible or True Sight can see the door, which means they can just wait. And then they'll just wait for you to come out and jump you when you come out. So there is that use. It is I can basically rest anywhere type of spell. Very similar to, like I said, rope trick, or similar to like a Leomund's tiny hut type of spell, which is not one of my favorite spells as a DM. This also is not one of my favorite spells. It takes away, I think it takes away that kind of, it makes things too fantastical, in my opinion. But, I mean, it is what it is. It is a spell that is there. Players will use it, and they will use it a lot and over again. All right, that is what I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.